Today's game features arguably the best defense in the NFL. The Browns are the least scored on team in the league, and they'll be up against the Jags offense that will need to rise to the occasion. On the call here tonight, let's send it out to our guys in the booth. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in the end, the decision to bring it out costs him a few yards as he's out of bounds just past the 20. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
A gain of 3, second down. Now look at the starting unit, and here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I like that one. Allen Robinson, I love coming out of Penn State. Everyone kept telling me he's not fast enough, and I kept pointing to the film and saying yes, but he catches everything. He's definitely a threat.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. As we get a look at the defensive starters, the secondary, they're certainly going to need to be on their toes in this one.
And you know me really well. Where do I start analyzing a game? From the secondary. And these guys have to be on point today. They're facing a high-powered attack.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And he gets it away, and it's a laser. Headed for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league. Come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Incomplete. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
Dante Fowler missed his rookie season due to injury. So good to have him back on the field. A terrific combination of speed and strength.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
Cut his left. Cut his left.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Going to give this time to the tailback. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out come the Jags. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
Now T.J. Yeldon. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. But they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. Yeldon fighting. He lost the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Let's go.
looking to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It goes as a pickup of 23. And it's good enough for a Cleveland first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word against symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Here's a give to Yeldon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
Deep drop. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 35. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 42 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
He goes underneath for Yeldon. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
They'll run with Yeldon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call, because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses we talk to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
If you love pressure,
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He'll set up a throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at second down. Second down following the incompletion.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And pump the brakes, Larry. Pump the brakes. We are ready for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw here. And he finds a man with a crossing route. There he goes, right side. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I can just hear one of my friends who won football.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Jordan Jenkins coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And his kick here is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
2nd down following the run.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. Now a handoff to Yeldon. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On play action, now Garoppolo. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Deron Harmon makes the tackle.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Let's go!
Play clock winding down. He'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. But on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to pump from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Here's the option going right. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Jimmy Garoppolo, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll set up a throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored
into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. Here's the Jags defense now as they head back out there. They were able to force that 3-and-out. That led to a touchdown. And defenses obviously love 3-and-outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast, but it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So they're operating in the red zone. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. They come out here in the eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Well, the hallmarks of their success this year, they've been fearless on fourth down. And they convert another one right here to move the chains.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. And quickly, they get to the line.
Here we go!
That one looks like he'll... And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jordan Jenkins in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go!
They'll look to throw on third and goal. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal. Now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Browns, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Houston Texans next week. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound.